Oh, hi, it's me, Zack Peter, pop culture junkie, reality TV insider, published author, and host of the No Filter with Zack Peter podcast. Here I'll bring you all the latest news on the Real Housewives, deep dives into celebrity legal scandals, and unfiltered combos with your favorite stars. I've got you covered, and yes, I always keep receipts. So be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest tea. Now, let's dive in. I do want to talk Buying Beverly Hills on Netflix. It is on Netflix now. Only 8 episodes. It's a short series. They're less than an hour each. It's a fun, easy binge, okay? I'm not endorsed or paid or anything, but I figured since we don't have Beverly Hills on right now, let's watch Buying Beverly Hills with Mauricio and Kyle. So I'm going to give you my full recap and overview. I'm not going to give too many spoilers. I don't think there really are any spoilers to really give from the season. I think, listen, there's drama, there's emotion, there's heart, there's competition, there's luxury real estate. I mean, we're talking money, honey, like multi-million-dollar, not like a $2 million house, but like the least expensive sale I think I remember seeing was a $6 million house. And we're talking like $20 million homes, $40 million homes. Like, this is big money, honey. And we're seeing these houses and they are decked out, okay? The show itself is good. A lot of people are comparing it to Selling Sunset. I think it's better than Selling Sunset. Overall, big fan of the show. I'm amped for a second season. It hasn't been greenlit or picked up for a second season yet, but it also came out less than a week ago. I would imagine it's going to be picked up for a second season. I would give it a B+. That's an insider joke for anyone that's already seen it. But in actuality, I would probably give it an A. I thought it was that good. There's hardly any Kyle in it except for like one small FaceTime scene, but there's really no Kyle. Mauricio, I think, said that it was a contract issue. It was a network issue. Obviously, NBC owns Bravo. Netflix and NBC don't have any crossover affiliation. So I would imagine, it's easy for Kyle to make an appearance or a cameo on Ultimate Girls Trip or on Paris in Love, because those are both airing on Peacock and on E, which is all still owned by NBC. So those are a lot easier to do, Yeah, because then she was even on the last season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians with Chris and Faye. But again, that's E. It's still NBC. This is Netflix, so I don't think it's that easy for her to just dip over in the reality genre. Obviously, doing Halloween, that's different because that's a motion picture, that's a film. So no Kyle, other than one very teeny tiny FaceTime scene. It also features their daughters, Farrah and Alexia. Farrah's the shark. She's Mo's secondhand man. She's right at the top of the agency with Mauricio. We have Alexia, who's younger than Farrah. I believe she's the second oldest. She's new. She's just getting her feet wet. Lots of stumbles along the way for Alexia. Lots of stumbles. She's learning. She's trying. She wants to find her footing. She wants to prove herself and not just be under the umbrella of Mauricio and Farrah, because Farrah's older sister. Mauricio's her dad. Farrah's Mauricio's stepdaughter. He's raised her since she was 5 years old, so she does refer to him as Mauricio. It's an interesting dynamic. You can tell. I know a lot of people are like, oh, nepotism. But Mauricio makes a really good point when it comes to Alexia, where he's like, listen, I'm her dad. I own a company. A lot of people hire their kids at their own companies. It's very common, whether you have, a small store and you have your son work in the front desk, or, you have a knitting business and your kids are helping you pack the packages for sweaters or whatever the case may be. It's natural to have your kids work for your company, number one. And number two, he's like, of course I'm going to give my daughter a leg up. If I, as her dad, am not the one to give her a leg up, like, who's going to do it? And that's true. Any of us that would have had an opportunity to get a leg up, wherever we get it from, we want a chance. We want someone to take a chance on us, and he's taking a chance on his daughter. So I think if we were all in that position, we would all be like, yes, daddy. Listen, I'll still call Mauricio daddy. Okay. Then we have Santiago, and Santiago is a partner at the firm. We don't get too much of him. He's cute. He's high up the hierarchy. Not a whole lot involved in the action. Then we have Ben Balak. And so Ben Balak is a senior agent at the firm, and he's also like a social media star in his own head, right? He's currently dating Amanda, who also works at the agency. So Ben Balak, very much one of the prime stars on the show, big personality, lots of opinions, fun to watch. Then we have Joey. Okay, and I have a bit of a crush on Joey because he's cute. He's one of the newbies. He's one of the junior agents. He's hungry. He's ambitious. He's a little full of himself, but it's okay. At 25 years old, you're a little full of yourself when you're getting into real estate, right? He's also got a little fling-a-ding-ding with Alexia. Very into her. It's very clear. They say that they've like fooled around and made out and stuff, which is kind of weird because they're both on Team Umansky, which is Mauricio's team of agents, senior and junior agents. And so it's kind of weird. Very curious how Mauricio feels now after watching this little interesting fling-a-ding-ding that they have. But I like Joey. He's probably my favorite on the show. Maybe next to Ben Balak. And they have a little competition, Joey and Ben. You know, they got their little vibe going on. Then there's John. John's another senior agent. He's cute. He's got great brows. His wife is Lauren. She also works at the agency. So it's all just very incestuous. Like, we all just date each other here. We date each other. We make out with each other. We bang each other. It happens. That's like when I say the family business, it is a family affair. Then there's Brandon. Brandon used to be a dancer. He's now thrown in the towel to become an agent. He, is one of the junior agents trying to make it happen. Also very ambitious, very much trying to prove himself, which kind of makes sense because he's older. He's in his mid to late 30s. So it makes sense that he's like, I need to prove myself compared to someone like Alexia, who's 25 and whose dad is the boss of the company, because I have to try a lot harder. He also, talks about the struggle of being a black man that's a realtor and trying to make it in real estate, and how being in the luxury real estate business, it does come with challenges, and how he's been to listings where security guards have questioned whether or not he's supposed to be there. So he does bring an interesting perspective to the table as somebody, in luxury real estate that has made a big pivot in his career. He's no longer a dancer. He's kind of shifting things up, and there's a lot more for him to lose, right? Where some of the younger agents like Joey or Alexia or one of the other girls that we'll get to in a minute, it shows that like his hunger and his ambition, you can tell, is there, but it's because it's not just because he thinks this is like a cute job. He actually is putting all his eggs in this basket. And, at this point, it's either sink or swim. Then we have Allie. She's another senior agent. She just had a baby. Very pretty. It's probably the most I have to say about Allie. She doesn't come out all that much. Then we have Melissa. Oh my God. Melissa. Bit of a bitch. Little shady, but definitely makes for some good drama on the show. You're going to love to hate her, or you're probably just going to hate her. That's kind of what you get with Melissa. Everyone on the show kind of just goes around and tells everybody everything, and they have confidential conversations, and then they go and tell everybody else about it, and then it becomes a big thing, and everybody gets into trouble, and Melissa is very much a part of all of that. She's also close with Farrah, and she has a little bit of beef with Alexia, so that's fun and enjoyable. I don't think she meant any harm. Okay, I guess this is a little spoiler-ish territory, but let me see if I can, what is my analysis of Melissa? I think she got caught up in the moment of being on a reality show and was doing a little kiki moment. She was talking a little shit about Alexia, which, to be fair, Alexia really did stumble a lot. But she's new. She's starting out. She's trying to prove herself. She's trying to build confidence. But Melissa definitely positioned as maybe like one of the show villains, even though she's not like a full villain. I wouldn't say there is a full-on villain, but they definitely tried to vilify Melissa quite a bit. Then there's Sonica. I wasn't that jazzed by Sonica. She used to be on American Idol. Cute. She's now a junior realtor at the agency. Cute. She's dating Kevin, who also works at the agency. I'm telling you, everybody's dating everybody. She's a little dramatic. She's very emotional. She has very little confidence. I don't actually think she wants to pursue real estate. That's not the vibe in the it's definitely, it doesn't seem that this is the industry for her. I think, it's something she's doing right now, maybe to find herself like a successful realtor hubby while she pursues music on the side, and he can like bring in the money, and then she'd be like, yes, I'm going to sing. Buy me my own studio, daddy. It's expensive to be me. I also think that she's mainly doing this for like the camera time, right? She likes being on the show. She's hoping that it'll lead to something. She always talks about American Idol. I used to do American Idol. I used to be a singer. I used to do American Idol. There's a scene where there's Whitney Cummings involved, and they're looking at Whitney's house, and it's a gorgeous house, and Whitney looks impeccable. Her outfit was just like killer. Love Whitney Cummings. But she sings for Whitney, and she's like, oh my God, like this is what I do. And Whitney's like, sing for me, darling, sing for me, Paolo. And Sonica sings, and she has a great voice, and I think that's what she really wants to do. I don't think she cares. I don't see her as a realtor. She just doesn't have the raw ambition. She doesn't have the desire. She doesn't really care to come up in the ranks. She doesn't really care to try harder other than to do the shtick for the show, which is, I guess, kind of similar to Alexia, but I think Alexia really wants to try to make this work, and she wants to be part of the family business. She steals a lot of the scenes, often judged as the boss's daughter. Everyone feels like they have to tiptoe around Alexia. She starts off very rocky, definitely lacks confidence, but I feel like by the end, she really starts to find her footing. She tries to prove herself, and I think she does do a good job of that. I do think there is a bit of nepotism, but again, I think it's a family business. Of course, you're going to hire your kids. I really grew to like Alexia. I think she's a great reality star, and I was very caught off guard by that because I didn't think I was going to really care about her all that much. And I will say she's very much like Kyle. Talks just like her mother, acts just like her mother. Her mannerisms are just like Kyle. I think it's actually kind of cute. I would imagine that this is what Kyle was like at Alexia's age, which is about 25. So I thought it was cute. Farrah. Love Farrah. I think Farrah is the real star of the show. She's a total boss bitch. She makes money, honey. Money, honey. And she dresses impeccably. Like, love Farrah. Love her. Doesn't get involved much. I mean, she's not like super high drama, and she's not like as like Alexia is very emotional. Melissa very much brings some of the drama. Joey brings some of the drama. Ben knows how to perform on camera. John has his role. Farrah, like she's not like a high performer, but she brings the lux, the glam, and just like the confidence. Like she is just innately ambitious and confident, and she knows what she wants, and I think she has a really strong presence on the show, even though it isn't very high drama with her. I didn't love her like whole engagement storyline because she talks about how she wants to get engaged, and everyone's like, when are you going to get engaged? And she doesn't know when she's going to get engaged because her now fiance doesn't want to get engaged. And then finally, he decides to propose. And it feels like her now fiance, he didn't really want to get married, which I guess he's very clear about at the beginning of the season, but ultimately he proposes to her. It's a very lackluster proposal. He doesn't really seem to be into the idea of marriage. It really just seems like he's trying to appease her. I feel like she deserved a big, extravagant thing. Like, if you held out that long, then give her a show. Like, she deserves the show. The flower petals, everything. Not just like we're having dinner at home and I'm just going to pull out the ring and surprise, I want to marry you, babe. You want to marry me? Gorgeous ring. She's got a cute manicure. She's rocking the ring the entire time. So yeah, she really finds her footing with Mauricio, which I think is an interesting dynamic, standing up for herself. You can tell that, they have an interesting sort of relationship because she's his stepdaughter. She refers to him as Mauricio. Her father is still very much involved in the picture. So, yeah. Interesting dynamic, but you can tell that there is still a lot of love there. But you can tell that there seems to be, like, Alexia is definitely treated differently than Farrah is by Mauricio. And so I think that's why everyone tiptoes more around Alexia than they do around Farrah, because it's obvious that, like, Alexia is Mauricio's baby girl. And even though I think he definitely sees Farrah as a daughter, you can just tell there's a different It's a different relationship. But yeah, you can tell that like Mauricio definitely prioritizes the family. He wants to keep the family in the business. He wants to keep the business family oriented. And that obviously comes with a lot of its challenges, right? And the sister dynamic and the father dynamic and the dynamic of everybody else in the office that are like, oh my God. I think it's a really good show. The family aspect gives it a lot of heart. We get Mauricio's backstory. We see him in this boss role, which I don't think we've ever seen him in before. We only see him like getting high on Beverly Hills and not wearing a shirt. But, you know, we get some drama. We see him have to make some tough decisions. We see him stand firm. I don't think any of it really feels that forced. It's a lot of people, or I would say it's what a lot of people love about real estate shows: $1 Million Listing, Selling Sunset, Selling OC. We see the glam, we see the competition, but we also see the family side of it too, which I think brings a lot of heart to the show. And one of the reasons that I think sets it apart from those other shows and actually makes it better than those other shows, if I'm being honest. So those is my thoughts. I highly recommend watching Buying Beverly Hills on Netflix. Binge it. I binged it over the weekend. I thought that it was great. I finished the final 2 episodes today, and I was loving it. So I'd recommend it. Let me know if there are other shows that you're watching that you really like. I'm trying to think. I know the new season of Bling Empire's out. I haven't finished that yet. I did start it, though. But I'm curious what other... People like Dubai Bling. I know there's a New York Bling that's coming out soon, too, right? So we'll see. We shall see.